What up, boys and girls? We are live. Weird slate last night. Very, very strange. I don't. It's just that time of year, right? It's just going to be the wild, wild west of baseball for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was a strange slate where you'll see pretty much a cash lineup winning.
Yeah, it's just right. The Soto Judge Springer, right? Like,
Yeah.
it happens. That's the fun of baseball. So, all right. Well, I'm going to start up top today. And we'll start with my man, Joker. I think there's a chance Joker lands 60% in single entry tonight against the Mariners in that K rate, even at 10-5. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think he'll be the highest owned pitcher on the slate, maybe even double the next pitcher, especially in single entry, just the matchup. And there's so many cheap pitchers or cheap offenses to be able to fit him in. It just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I just don't see how he's not. I'm undecided yet. Like, I'm right at 10-5. I need him to have 9-10 Ks. So, to really get it up there. And he could also K15. I kind of like Gilbert on the other side of this matchup, though. I like Gilbert a little bit tonight. I don't love him, but I don't hate him either because nobody's playing him because of the price. So kind of like that side on the more expensive pitchers. And then the other guy at 9K is Nola. He's getting some steam. We're seeing up over 20% now. I don't know what to do there. Atlanta's finally got their ass in gear. So I don't really love Nola in that situation. Their K rates kind of come down a little bit. So I don't know that I'm having much Nola exposure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing him around 20, and I have about 5% of them right now. I don't really love the matchup, and it's Nola. I mean, he can go out there and get shelled. It's just something that he does, and he's on the road.
Yeah, I mean, there's all that. So for me, like as I'm looking at this today, let's get down into the dirty, gritty. I kind of like going to Nick Martinez today after what Toronto did yesterday. I think, he's going to stay a little bit lower owned because of it, that 10% area, because he's only $6,300. So that's kind of like one of the dirty plays I like down cheap. I think he's in a good spot. Hard not to like Papoy against the A's for me. And then, looking at that other price range, I don't hate actually the other side of that. I don't hate Spence either today. Going a little Mitchie, I'm just trying, I'm not messing with Cueto or Cantillo or Maeda. And then we both feel the same about Mr. Cortez.
Yep. Pepio and Spence are two of my higher exposed pitchers. I like the value there. Yeah. That game has struggled to provide offense the whole series. So I like going there in a good pitcher's park. And I also don't mind Nick Martinez either. I'm over the field on him right now. I don't really care to target Toronto. It's just I think Martinez is better than 6,300.
Yeah, that's the upside, right? Like that's as I look at that, like that's kind of, as I'm staring, it's there. It's just looking at K rates on the slate, right? Because Flaherty's got the nuts matchup. The other one, he's got nice K upside is Lorenzen versus the A's today. And he's only $7,700, right? He's not overly priced. He's not gonna he doesn't project through the roof, but he's not awful. And nobody's playing him. His current ownership's 2%.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. I didn't expect the Angels team total to be as it is. It's kind of a weird game.
Yeah, weird spot. I'm not going to Cantillo. Not really interested. And I'm not throwing Tally on either, right? I'm just not. What are you gonna do with Fried?
I'm fading Fried.
Me too. I'm not on Fried.
I don't think he's healthy.
Yeah, something doesn't look right to me. So I'm past Maxey. He's got to project. I think something's wrong. The other spot that if he just stays unowned could be weird is a little maybe Myers against St. Louis, right? I would definitely he might make my 3 max full, but definitely 20 max and up, right? That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I like Myers.
Yeah, interesting spot. I I like more like this, more of an 8-game slate. I think it's a little easier to get there. Um, condensing some of the things down. Let's go take a little look at ownership. I haven't looked at ownership since this morning, so um, I need to go update it. Man, let's go look at stack ownership. All right, kind of. Ooh, all right. Um, interesting. KC so high today. Um, that's an interesting spot to me. Um, as far as ownership goes, and then right, like the the Angels are. I don't know. That's weird. If the Angels are the second highest owned stack on the slate, I'm gonna be like overweight on Lorenzen on fucking principle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
that's what confused me.
because everybody else, next to the Reds, he's got a little ownership, but everybody else is where they should be, right? We're on an 8-game slate. We're currently seeing where they should be. If they're there, like, there's zero chance I'm not throwing the Lorenzen, like against a team that, right? Like, what's their K rate the last 2 weeks? 28, 30%? Yeah, it's 28.5% against right-handed pitching the last 2 weeks. Like, I don't know. That's a weird spot. That something's fishy to me there.
Yep.
All right. Main game, right? Again, Soto Judge just always in play. We saw what they did last night. Soto doesn't care. He's crushing lefties as much as he is righties. And Quintillo's actually been worse against lefties than righties. Total's 8.5. Again, I'm not going to Cortez. The Guardians don't strike out. So I'm not interested there. I actually don't hate the Guardians on that side. I think people are going to play the Yankees a little more. I don't hate a little access to, a little Thomas, J Ram, maybe a little Fry.
Yeah, I normally don't like stacking the Guardians just because they don't have power, but they get a park upgrade here. I actually like them today. J Ram, Lane Thomas. I like David Fry at catcher, batting cleanup, and Noel is probably those are my top options there.
Yeah, Noel's still so cheap at $3,500. Again, Blue Jays Reds. I like a little Nick Martinez today. Just going back, they still that lineup they're putting out K's a ton. So Jimenez, Barger, Schneider. They got some guys. Barshow's batting second. They got some guys that can K in that lineup. I'm definitely going to throw me some Nicky at 6,300. It's even better. He's 6,300 today.
Yeah, I like that. I don't really have much interest in the Blue Jays. I do have a little bit of interest in the Reds offense. I like going to Ellie as always, and I like Tyler Stevenson today.
Yeah. I'm shocked at the 7.5 total. I feel that's like a name recognition in Nola Freed, maybe. And it shouldn't be at this point. The Braves are cheap, man. Like, Harris is only 4,200, Witt's 33. You could stack that top 5 really reasonably priced today. I get the total 7.5, but we saw what happened in the games last night.
Yeah, the Braves are they're one of my higher owned stacks today, which I thought was weird at first, but looking at their prices, it makes a lot of sense because you have Merrifield at second base eligible. He's 3,300. If you want to play a 9-hole hitter, Ursula's third base at 25. It's just they make a lot of sense.
Yeah, there's some spots there that I like. Cards Brewers. This is a 7.5 total. I'm not really interested in. I'm fading that game. I don't really care for that game.
Yeah, I don't see any priorities in the game. I lean the Brewer side of picking one, but really no priorities.
So if I would have told you 2 weeks ago the Tigers and Cubs were playing and Talion and Maeda were pitching and the game total was only 7.5, would you have believed me?
No.
Right? That's another one that I don't understand what's going on here. I mean, I get the Tigers strike out a ton, but man, look at Talion's splits versus lefties. Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but I don't know, man. That's another one. That game's just fishy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I kind of like the Tiger side a little bit. I like Meadows and Veerling, but overall, it's a decent spot.
Yeah, I mean Venos is still $3,200. Like he's still pretty cheap. Um, we should see some Torkelson tonight, and don't forget, listen, Jace Jung, dude can rack. Like if he gets going, he's gonna. If he gets going, he's gonna go like a Fitzy price, right? It'll just all of a sudden it'll be $5,200. So, yeah. So we'll talk about. Yeah, I like the Philly. I like the Atlanta side of that game. I'm not touching Cantillo. No thanks. Hard pass. Nope. I'm passing there. Angels Royals. Again, I like if the Angels ownership's going to be this, I'm throwing Lorenzen. It's just game theory 101.
Yeah, I'm not really on the Angels. I mean, I think they're fine, I guess, but not at their ownership. I'd rather play Royals if I'm gonna play a chalk stack. But even then, I'm not really in love with the Royals. I think they're fine.
What if
It's
what if
mainly
Cueto comes out and crushes them? What if old man Cueto walks out, got the funky line, wind up going and
It wouldn't
crushes
surprise me. I
right?
mean,
Like
he just gets it done. He's never really been one to get blown up.
yeah. So I'm not interested. I like some pitching in the Rays Athletics. That's where I'm at in that game. Give me Mitchie, give me Ryan. I'll kind of stay on that side.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
And then what are you going to do? How many Mariner stacks are going to play? Like, what's your percent with just taking the leverage off of how high Joker's going to be owned?
Let me see. Currently, I have 12 5-man stacks of Seattle.
Right. So just to give you guys an idea, right? Like, hey, let's get some exposure. If Jack comes out and just isn't himself, decides you can't K anybody, right? Like, you're trying to get, exposure to that side. So hard to not like that. The Dodgers are the Dodgers, right? But Gilbert's been solid, man. Like I like Logan Gilbert. They could also if they also crushed him, I wouldn't be shocked, right? Like it's starting to feel like they're about to get to that time where they're going to start turning it on, right? Like, okay, we're 6 weeks out. Hey guys, we've coasted all season, time to get our asses in gear.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not in love with the Dodgers. My favorite hitter on the team is probably Lux. He's been tearing it up, and he's still cheap, so I don't mind going there. But other than that, I don't really see any priorities.
And man, I just feel like Robles on Seattle side, like he's just due for a monster game, right? Like you pair him with Meadows, and then you take and then you can go run a 5-man stack if you're not doing those teams, right? And those two guys pricing, right? Like you're at 6,800 between the two of them, really opens up stuff at in there for you today for me.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're gonna keep it short and sweet on this today's slate. Who you got going yard today? Who do you like?
I'm going with Matt Olson today.
Olson. I love Olson. He's insanely mispriced. Yep. He shouldn't be plus 375 today. I'm gonna go Noel. I think Noel. I really like. Oh man, I really like Noel to go to yard. And David Fry at FanDuel's terribly mispriced. Yep. So that's two spots I really like there today.
I also like Ellie a little bit. You can get him $750 on FanDuel.
Oh, nice. Stolen base. Yeah. Stolen bases are almost even money day. It's minus 110 at Hard Rock in Florida today. Right? Like that's wild, man. So just remember, boys and girls, I talked you off his unders when everybody was on Twitter talking smack at the beginning of the season saying, oh, this is an easy under. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like if he gets on base, the dude's gone. Mm-hmm. So interesting spot. I wish I would have bet from a betting standpoint, I wish I would have bet more Shohei stolen bases this year.
Yeah.
Like been kind of wild. So all right, boys and girls. Well, we'll see you in Discord. If you got any questions, hit us up and let's go have a non-winner night.
Yep.
Later.